cannot be constrained by a legislation. The Acharya is not within any ordinary system of check and balances. Like nowadays, the guru must follow the GBC. The guru must be basically, he has no power. He has no power. Because it's only rubber stamp. It's only rubber stamp because if the guru, previously when the Acharya were very strong, the temple president had no power. Because the guru would come and they would follow the guru. The temple president was nobody. But now they say, no, the temple president has more power than the guru. Because he cannot go against the instruction of the president. Devakinandan. Yeah, they're all like that. So in this way, the gurus have become practically it's a circus. It's a circus. It's a circus because the spiritual master is something which is very, very, very deep and very, very serious affair. In other words, when you accept the spiritual master, then you must submit yourself fully to him. It is the spiritual master, not the institution, that is your life and soul. The institution is only to spread the teachings, but the spiritual master is above the institution. That is the fact. So if the spiritual master is the person whom you owe your total allegiance, not to a GBC or to a body.
Some of this gurus they accept that Prabhupada is Shiksha.
Prabhupada is Shiksha Guru.
They consider like that.
Not Shiksha Guru, you can be a Shiksha Guru.
No, all like books, we read the books. The Guru also says like Gopal Krishna Maharaj suggesting that 99.99% you should read Prabhupada and only 0.01% is listening.
Why, what do I get in that 0.1%? What do I get?
That they advise to read Prabhupada. That means.
No, that's fine, that's great. But the thing is that, you see, Prabhupada is both our Shiksha and Diksha.
Right.
Because what is Diksha? What is Diksha? What is Diksha? What is Diksha? According to Jiva Goswami. There are three aspects of the Diksha. One is Shapayati, removal of the sinful reactions. Second is Divya Gyan, giving transcendental knowledge. And the third aspect of the Diksha is the formality of the Diksha. Now they are simply doing the formality because they are not in a position to do the other two. They cannot remove the sinful reactions because only a Mahabhagavata can do that. That's why you can see all these gurus, they're all getting sick because they're accepting so many disciples.
But like Jayapataka Maharaj, Swami organize every Gaur Purnima, they have disciples have many.
Yes, more than 50.
They claim their sister went to Rekunda, Golomunda. They told stories. I have heard earlier 3 and 4 stories, like their disciple went away.
So they know, huh?
Jayapataka's disciple passed away and go back home.
How do they know that? How do they know? They saw him going, they're taking the... the Pushpa Viman came and brought
Yeah.
them back home, back to Radha.
They told a story like that. In the end of death, they chant Hare Krishna and something like.
Oh, yeah, anyone can go home if you chant the holy name. That is great. You can chant if you, but in order to chant the holy name,
And
at the
then,
time,
one book also they like they chanted by the bread mala and put Jayapataka Swami photographs and they chant in the jail. And
anyone, see, anyone can say anything, but we have to go by what Srila Prabhupada said. What is the Guru? First of all, we have to know what is the Guru. Who can be a Guru? Now, number one, unless you have the foundation, no matter what you say, it will crumble. What is the foundation? The foundation is given by our Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, that a person asked Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami, can a Kanishtadhikari be a Diksha Guru? Can he give Diksha? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta said categorically, said no, he cannot. He doesn't have the adhikar, the quality, the qualification. Then he asked, can a Madhyamadhikari give Diksha? He said he can only give the preliminary, he can only perform the preliminary duty of the Diksha. The preliminary duties. What are those preliminary duties? He says only a Mahabhagavata, because a Mahabhagavata, only a person who has a relationship with the Lord, who sees the Lord, Tattvadarshi. Tattvadarshi. One Tattvadarshi means, see, we hear about the Lord. But do you have the darshan of the Lord?
But they give an example like Dhruv Maharaj, mother.
Dhruv Maharaj's mother is not a Diksha.
Yeah.
She's not a Diksha Guru.
Only instruction.
Narada Muni is the Diksha.
Diksha Guru.
Yes.
But they,
So you can take in instruction even from an animal.
Yes.
In the Bhagavad, in the Uddhava Gita, there are 24 description of
Yeah,
24 gurus. There are so many gurus. You can take instruction from anything, even from natural situations. Yes, but that doesn't mean that you become the disciple of, like a very good example is Bilva Mangala Thakur. Is she the Diksha Guru of Bilva Mangala Thakur? Chintamani. Can you say that she is the Diksha Guru? She created a condition for him to awaken.
Yes.
She created a condition by saying, if you had so much love and affection for the Lord, and the determination that you have, that you are coming to me at this stage, at this time, what he did, crossing the river on the dead body, climbing the wall, holding on a snake, that kind of determination to enjoy sense gratification. If you had that much determination, your spiritual life would bloom, right? So that, boom, woke him up. So that is a guru, no doubt. But is she a Diksha Guru? No. So what is a Diksha Guru? We chant every day. Divya Jnana Rita Prakasita.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur has any
Diksha Guru, Bhakti Vinod Thakur had Bipin Bihari. Bipin Bihari was his Diksha, but he respected him, but his actual Guru, his Diksha Guru, is Jagannath Das. He's in our parampara, yes or no? Bipin Bihari is not in our parampara.
He is Diksha Guru.
He is Diksha Guru. He is not a Diksha Guru. He was the Kula Guru.
Kula Guru.
Yes. But his actual Diksha Guru is Jagannath Das.
But there is no ceremony.
There doesn't need to have a ceremony. In our parampara, you can see that some there is a only the most important current links are mentioned. Out of billions and 4 billion years. Now, how many this universe from Lord Brahma down to Srila Prabhupada, there is only 32 gurus mentioned. So the most important are mentioned. The most important, though there may be so many other gurus, but the most important. So who is the one who carry on the parampara means the most prominent. The most prominent. So, the kshapiety or the removal of sinful reaction can only be done by a Baba. And Dibya Jnana Rite Prakashita. That means the spiritual master knows your heart. He knows who you are. He knows your position because he's in direct connection with who?
Paramatma.
The Lord. Paramatma.
But Prabhupada says Guru and Mahavagam doesn't use Paramatma as he does not. There is parda curtain.
There is no curtain for the Acharya. The spiritual master is in direct touch with the Lord.
No. Prabhupada knows everyone's heart.
He knows everyone's heart.
But still he do not see that interfere Paramatma.
He doesn't interfere. There is no interference. The thing is that we, as disciples, must follow the Acharya. If we please the spiritual master, then only we can make spiritual advance.
The disciple may cheat the.
You cannot cheat. You cannot cheat Guru. You cheat yourself.
Yourself, but
So that you cannot cheat Guru. Guru cannot be cheated. You can only cheat yourself. Because the spiritual master, Prabhupada, is with Krishna. Yes or no? He is with the Lord. The
no,
Spirit.
he said Krishna and Jeev Tattva and Bhagavad Tattva, this is different.
No, but still, the Jiva Tattva, the spiritual
These are
man.
dependent on Krishna's Paramatma form. Like Lord Shiva consult to Paramatma, then he knows. Without consultation, they do not know.
That's all right, but see, there is basic knowledge. You see, the Acharya is not omniscient, right? He's not God. He doesn't know everything. But if he wants to know something, he asks.
One point explained like Prabhupada, I haven't gone to that Prabhupada explained that different between Jeev and Krishna, Paramatma and Jeev Tattva. Like Suddha Mahabhagavatam, he hasn't he judged the disciple by the facts, not like direct consult Paramatma and he see their heart, what is going on, their heart.
Can I just interrupt something, sir? Prabhuji, can I beg you, please? If you ask one question, just one question, let us hear full answer and don't interrupt, don't jump in again. Full. Then at the end, we can add more. Because now too much not finish and then jump, not finish and jump, problem.
See, the Acharya knows the disciple.
By facts or by
Everything.
Paramatma?
By everything. By any way he wants.
He can, but
No. Whether he can or not. Prabhu, whether he can or not, the fact is that the Acharya knows. He knows. So, therefore, he knows who is a cheater, he knows who is sincere, and accordingly he reveals. Dipya Jnana Rite Prakasita. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Satya Kabunoy Shravanadi Suddha Chitte Karaye Udoy. Shravanadi Suddha Chitte. When we hear from the spiritual master with Suddha Chitta, with pure consciousness, then Karaye Udoy. It causes to rise from the heart. Knowledge from the heart is revealed. So when the devotee, the disciple surrender to the Acharya wholeheartedly, then by the grace and Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada, Yasya prasada nagati kuto. We sing every day. We sing every day. No? Mangalarti, we sing that. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada, Yasya prasada nagati kuto. Without pleasing the spiritual master, nagati kuto, you cannot reach the supreme destination. You cannot make spiritual advancement. So you may study the books, you may be a great acharya, a great person, you may be a great scholar, you may be a great tapasvi, whatever you want. But if you're not a submissive servant of the spiritual master, then you cannot make spiritual advancement. It remains on the mental platform. Because knowledge, though is in the books, though knowledge is in the Shastra, but it must be revealed. It must be revealed. The revelation comes from here, from the Lord, not from the books. Because in the books, there is the instruction how to purify your heart. So if you don't follow those instructions that leads you to purification of the heart, rather you become attracted only to the jnana, and you start thinking that you are a great devotee or a great scholar, and you think, because you are not actually following the spiritual master, you start thinking that because I am so intelligent, because I am so knowledgeable, I am a great devotee. That is ahankara. That is not bhakti. That is ahankara. That is false ego. And false ego, a person who is afflicted by false ego, he cannot understand Krishna. He cannot understand. He cannot. Revelation will not come. It is all knowledge that he has. That's why a person who is in that platform, it generally becomes very hardened. It becomes very puffed up. It becomes very hard. It becomes very difficult to deal with because he thinks he's better than everybody else. So the submissive attitude, Srila Prabhupada said, Yasyadhyave parabhaktir yata deve tata guru tasyate katitayarata prakashante man. Only one was implicit faith. Implicit. And Srila Prabhupada gave the very wonderful example that if the Acharya says, this is a snake, you see a rope on the road, on the floor, and the Acharya says it's a snake. Though you think it's a rope, you see it's a rope, but you accept. No, it's a snake. Then he says, no, it is a rope. So that is called implicit faith. Implicit faith means wholeheartedly surrender to the attitude of Prabhupada. And that is not an easy task. It's not easy. We have to cultivate. So if the spiritual master gives an instruction in ISKCON and the GBC give you a contradictory instruction, who do you follow? Which instruction do you follow? Then you have the temple president. He may give you another instruction on the same subject. Then who you follow? You should follow the Guru, no? But that is not acceptable. Guru is subjected to the law of the GBC. So it is based on untruth. It is falsity. It is falsity. Because number one, they are not authorized. I mean, first, they are not qualified. Because qualification is Mahabhagavata. Number two, though you may think you are qualified, where is the authorization? Where is the authorization? So Krishna conscious Prabhupada is the parampara current link to the parampara. Now they are saying something else. They are saying that we take you to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada takes you to Bhaktisiddhanta. This is all rubbish. Being in parampara doesn't mean that I accept you as my disciple and I give your sins to my spiritual master. Is it? That doesn't mean that I am a bona fide member of the parampara. Bona fide member of the parampara means that you are authorized because of your adhikara by your spiritual master, by the Lord, to accept disciples and purify them from their sinful reaction. That means you are able to actually burn those sinful reactions to ash. It's not that I am taking you to Prabhupada and Prabhupada takes you to Bhaktisiddhanta, Bhaktisiddhanta takes you to Gaura Das Bhagaji all the way up to Krishna. No, it's direct.
The disciples told that they were going to take sins, their disciples, so they suffer.
Well, he is suffering. He is suffering. That we know.
Because by taking sins,
By taking, you see, let's study a little bit, all right? What Prabhupada says in the Nectar of Devotion. Even though, suppose they are gurus, all right? Suppose, let's give it that they are spiritual masters, all right? What Srila Prabhupada said, one should be very careful not to accept many disciples in Nectar of Devotion. What Prabhupada, they are always quoting that, Jare Deko Tai Ko Krishna Upades Amara Gyaya Guru Hoy Taredesh. That on my order everyone should be guru. So we should all be gurus. In the purport of that verse, what Srila Prabhupada says, you remember? What does he say?
like
No. What does he say in that matter? It is best not to accept any disciple. It is best. So what is better than best?
that.
When you say best, it means don't accept disciples. Don't accept disciples. They say, no, Prabhupada said that everybody should be guru, that we are the 11th and you are the 12th.
I haven't heard by mouth of Jagataka Maharaj, but their disciples told that Prabhupada give him order for more than...
Prabhupada gave order, I can say anything. Prabhupada gave me order to beat you up. Should I come, if I come and beat you up and say, Prabhupada gave me the order in my dream last night, will you accept? We Prabhupada did not, Srila Prabhupada did not work. He was a perfect manager. Everything he wanted is in writing. Prabhupada said, if it's not in writing, don't accept.
Yes.
If it's not in writing, do not accept. So why, Prabhupada told me, like there is this, somebody said the only gurus that Prabhupada wanted, gave instruction to was Gaur Govinda Swami and Radha Govinda Swami that Prabhupada told them to be gurus. They are claiming that. Jayapataka Maharaj claims that he's eternal associates of Lord Chaitanya. He claims that Srila Prabhupada told him to initiate 50,000 disciples.
Yes, they chant the name called Nitai, Nitai, Kripa, Tarinya, Pradayana, something.
Whatever.
Whole thing, Jagataka Maharaj fulfill whole criteria. Like the saints, the taking saints.
Prabhu, we are not here to discuss Jayapataka Maharaj. Because it is not my business. We are here to discuss what Srila Prabhupada wanted.
Jai.
Jai.
Okay, see also.
It's not offensive, it's not our business. Because anyone can say anything. I can say anything I want. If I suppose I dream of Srila Prabhupada, all right, I also have dream of Prabhupada. He told me that his guru business was bogus.
But common people get confused.
Wait, I also have dreams that they're all bogus. Prabhupada told me in a dream.
But
Now,
like,
so what is the point of the dream? Dreams are your personal. Dreams are your personal realization. You cannot put a dream for everybody else. Like letters. Prabhupada wrote letters. Sometimes he writes a letter to you and it's personal. When he writes to you, it's personal. When he writes to the temple president, it's institutional. When he writes to the GBC, it's institutional. But when he writes a letter to you, it is for you, not for everybody else. Because it is directly relating to your situation. And each one of us have different situations. But Srila Prabhupada wrote instructions in his books that we follow. In his lectures, that we follow. Because lectures are for everybody. Letters are for individuals.
I want to put like a difficulty. Like that I have in karting I have Vijayendra Parma, and they claim like anybody they claim they are direct disciple of Prabhupada, and they have so many like close relation with Prabhupada.
Straightforward.
They have explained the incident when once we go together with Prabhupada and they gave me like Gopal Krishna Maharaj told that Prabhupada told him he is very dear disciple of Prabhupada,
Yes.
and so many things he explained like that this is a very good to like group and system. They explain like that.
Just because he's a dear disciple of Srila
No,
Prabhupada?
they have direct.
They are direct.
They claim.
They are direct.
Direct disciples.
So they are direct disciples of Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah. Or they have like so many conversations with him.
So unless you converse with the spiritual master, you are not dear to Prabhupada. You are not dear to the Guru. Prabhupada, how many times he met Bhaktisiddhanta?
5.
How many times? I think 12 times. 10, 12 times. So, but he's the one who did more than any of all of the other disciples put together. So how can you say that? Prabhupada met his Guru only 10, 12 times. But the other disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta lived him constantly. So they're more dear to Bhaktisiddhanta than Srila Prabhupada? Is that the criteria to accept?
Situation like that, if you told that your own mind, like I have direct disciple of Prabhupada, and Balaram Prabhu also praised him, like this is Prabhupada disciple and this is very dear to Prabhupada and he's speaking everything is like Prabhupada one.
Okay.
Like Gopal Krishna.
So you cannot preach the same, you cannot have the same situation? You cannot be dear to Srila Prabhupada the way that Gopal Krishna Maharaj is dear to Prabhupada? What is the criteria to be? I want to ask you a question. What is the criteria for some devotee to be very dear to Prabhupada?
Who follows the Prabhupada?
Bas. So Prabhupada said, he who follows the discipline is a disciple. Now the more you follow the discipline, the more you are dear to Srila Prabhupada. So whether you receive direct instructions, first of all, what is a direct instruction?
What is the direct?
What is the difference between a devotee who heard Prabhupada from his lotus mouth? You know? Like so many of senior devotees had very close relationship with Prabhupada. They lived with him, they traveled with him, they heard him speaking, they received instruction from him. Is that position more important than a person who just received instruction through his books?
No.
Is that more important? Is that more relevant?
But who judge? Who is more
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada judges.
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada judges. Not you. Not me. Common people are fools.
Yes, Prabhupada.
Who cares about common people? Common people are, opinion is useless. Our business is to follow. Whether we are whether we are dear to Prabhupada or not, that is not our business. Our business is to follow. We are not following. Of course, we want to be dear to Prabhupada, but that's not a race. Our business is to follow, to chant the holy name, to increase our love for the Lord, to increase our detachment from the material world. Then if you are actually dear to Prabhupada, it will become manifested. It will come up. It will happen. And it's not because I am an ordinary man. Whether I'm a Grihastha or Brahmachari or Vanaprastha or a sannyas, whether I live in the temple or I live outside, whether I am a great personality. Just see Mahaprabhu, right? Just see the activities of Lord Chaitanya. Or just see the activities of the Lord Krishna, how he behaved with the devotees. Look at Sudama. Look at the Kolavecha Sridhar in Mahaprabhu Leela. He was an ordinary man. He was a Grihastha. He was living in a little cottage. He was making banana leaves. He was making cups and he would sell them. 50% he would use for the service of the Ganges, for Ganga Mahi, and 50% he used to maintain his livelihood. There was no opulence in his place. There was an iron pot that he used to drink from. Mahaprabhu picked it up and drank. That's how he manifested his love for his devotee. Krishna, when Duryodhana asked him to come and have lunch.
How can we judge who is senior disciple? Who is senior?
Stop. Prabhuji, stop. Let him finish. He's explaining
We
the
have
story.
already
He's saying
discussed
Duryodhana.
this. Senior means what? See, there is seniority in age, there is seniority in service, there is seniority in knowledge, there is seniority. First of all, a devotee always thinks himself as the lowest. So if everybody thinks themselves as the lowest, then who is the senior most? If actually within our heart and by our activities, when we see a devotee, we don't see, oh, he's younger than me, I should not respect him because he's younger than me, he should serve me. That is ahankara. We should not see that, oh, this devotee is younger than me, so I should not respect him the way I'm respecting somebody else. No, you should respect everybody. So if a devotee actually follows the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, and he actually feels himself, Oye Vaishnava Thakura, Tumara Kukura, I'm your dog. That feeling must be there. Actually, by realization, that's the fruit of actually following and chanting the holy name sincerely, offenselessly. That you actually feel, you actually know, when Narottam Das Thakur sings like that, or when the other acharyas sing like that, putting themselves in a very low position, it's not just an instruction to us. They are actually feeling like that. They're actually feeling like that because of their nature, their natural humility and realizations. So this Krishna consciousness movement is to lower Trinada Pi Sunichena. Why don't we practice that? Is it just something? Mahaprabhu just gave us eight shlokas, and in those 8 shlokas, he revealed the whole spiritual world from A to Z. 8 shlokas. He didn't have to write books. If you study these 8 shlokas, the Shastaka, you become perfectly self-realized. Everything is there. All the Vedas, all the instruction. It is the essence of all the Vedas, right there.
Something is there like that. The Ritvik are not become together.
What is together means what? Are they together here?
No.
They are not together. They are all using Prabhupada. But they are not together. They don't like each other.
Yes.
They don't like each other. No?
Everybody like preach very nicely.
Yes, they're all for it's in the West it's called, I don't know how you call it, feudalism.
Nobody considers senior.
Nobody cares for nobody else. You think they're all united? They're only united in one thing, to push that they are gurus. You just imagine Prabhupada, one guru, what he did in 10 years, what they have done in 60 years. If one acharya is so powerful that he totally destroyed the demoniac mentality, nowadays this movement should have been so much spread. But they are fighting. One guru doesn't like the other one doesn't like the other. They're all having all their, like we have a Grihastha, I have my children, and they have each guru has their own disciples. If you go to the first question they ask you in any ISKCON temple, who is your guru? And if you are one of the chelas, I have my Prabhu. if you are a disciple of some other guru, you go there. Tomar parivar is Tamar parivar.
Thank you, sir. I just like to share a small revelation because I'm based from ISKCON. So in ISKCON Madurai we have just in the some 3 to 4 years ago. So I was like a regular congregation devotee, and we have our Sunday program morning Bhagavatam classes.
Yes.
So first the president comes and all the morning program is done. So he will give a class. So as soon the Bhagavatam class is over, so before Prasadam, some like 60% of crowd in the Bhagavatam class will head to a secret Guru Puja. So when I was about to go there, my Siksha Guru, I had one counselor in ISKCON. So he said, no, you should not go there like that. But one of the small boy dragged me inside, and I went to inside the room. They locked the room. So they have a beautiful asasana and so much things, and they're going to place a picture. And the picture is the guru who is very famous now, very big. He looks very big. The guru, his picture.
Big
He looks very big.
Size or
big in size and big in number and everything big. So I
Achha.
wanted to say his name. So,
why you don't want to say his name?
okay, yes, Jayapadaga Swami. Okay, so so they were decorating him nicely, and they were singing Kripa Bindu Diya Kodoi Das. So like that they're singing, and they are doing big kirtan.
Open, get some air here.
Yeah, open that side.
They're singing that big monster, etc. like that. Okay. So the puja was there. Okay, I don't know. I was a very innocent boy. I don't know. So I was just okay. I was dancing something and some kirtan because I wasn't very new. So everything is over. Then my counselor was very angry and he was saying, "Why you went there like that?" And I said, if one is following Prabhupada, they don't do like this, like that. He said. And after some time, then the next week so as a new devotee. So I tend to repeat what my senior does. Okay. So that time, so next it was the next week. So same Bhagavatam class. So same thing. So So I said that I have some seva in the kitchen, so I'll come later like that I said. And one of the devotee is like my friend. He said, "No, you don't come Puja for Guru Maharaj." Huh? Like that, yeah, he threatened me actually. And uh, the thing is that there is no even unity within the Guru house.
They're not united.
That is the thing.
They are
not happy
there
that
is, there
one
is
Guru is
a-
getting served.
I've seen it
But the
myself.
management is.
I've seen it myself. There is, anyway, we should not discuss this because it's irrelevant. Truly, it's irrelevant. Our business is not to discuss what's going on. Our business to discuss Siddhanta. Yes or no?
Yes.
Our business to discuss Siddhanta, because the moment you go into this, what this they are doing, what they are doing, we all know that once you move away from the instruction of the Acharya, you enter the realm of speculation. Once you enter the realm of speculation, there is no end to it. There is no head, there is no tail. Alright, so our business is what Srila Prabhupada wanted, number one. And to follow it. That's the most important. Once you are fixed on the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, once you are fixed that only a Mahabhagavata can be the spiritual master, once you are fixed that Mahabhagavata is Srila Prabhupada, once you are fixed that Srila Prabhupada actually ordered that he remains the Acharya and his disciples are to act on his behalf, then there is no room for speculation. Absolutely. There is no room for speculation. Because if we enter into that realm, we can sit here for 10,000 years and we're simply wasting our time.
There is no problem of philosophy. There is problem application.
Application, everything is a problem. If you disobey the order of the spiritual master, everything is a problem. Remember that.
Two kind of people are there. One people who thinks like he learns philosophy, he try to understand Prabhupada, then they doing preaching. And one people like type this like they think they learn Prabhupada and they start preaching. And so many people sit together also with them, and they think that they are doing great.
Yes, naturally. Once you have profit, adoration, and distinction, followers, then you think I'm a great person. I'm a very capable person. I'm a very qualified person. I'm a very
Both are
successful person. So that if you are actually following Srila Prabhupada and you accept Srila Prabhupada, that will not happen. That will not happen. Though there were ambitious people even when Srila Prabhupada was physically present. There were many ambitious people who wanted to be.
Two kind of people I have seen.
There are many kinds of people.
But one kind of people more, he read books, he tried to understand his father and he wrote
Yes.
books, he wrote books. And that's when one day he perfect, then he preach.
Yes.
And one kind of people, they start, naturally they make to preach people. And they to other people and then they thinking proudly.
They think proudly. Yes. Yes.
Not consider
So that is the problem, because
application is the
application. See
what was
the studying and the practical application. That is called jnana and vijnana. If you have jnana but you don't have vijnana, then you cannot make spiritual advancement. You become materialistic and you become proud, you become puffed up, and you become disrespectful to others. So there must be vijnana. Vijnana comes with what? With practice. With practice. Practice means to avoid the 10 offenses to the holy name. Number one. unless we avoid the 10 offenses to the holy name, we cannot actually be able to help others. We cannot help others. We can only help others to the extent that we are helping ourselves. Yes or no?
Yes.
If I am not following properly, nor should I claim that I can help you more. So it's a question of honesty here. We must be honest with ourselves. At what stage are we in Krishna consciousness? Because at night, before you go to sleep, you cannot cheat yourself. You cannot cheat yourself. You know very well where you are. What are your anarthas? We all know our anarthas. I know my anarthas. And you know your anarthas.
But they accept whole thing. Like
Whether they accept or not, that is a separate issue. But the fact is that you cannot help someone unless you help yourself. So we must ourselves be very strict in our sadhana, and accordingly we can be of help to others. It's very simple. Krishna consciousness is very simple. So we have to simply accept what Srila Prabhupada has taught us, practice what Srila Prabhupada has taught us, and wait for His mercy. Wait for the mercy of the Lord. We cannot force our way back home, back to God. We cannot force it. It is Golokriya Prema Dhan. Is a gift. Is a gift. It's something that is handed down. It's not something that you forcibly grab. You have no entrance unless you are accepted. So therefore, what is the point of being proud or puffed up? What is the benefit of that? And it's counterproductive. Yes or not?
ideal person ideal persons.
Ideal person, the ideal person. We are discussing. We should all become ideal. We should all become ideal. Therefore, we have to work on ourselves first. Introspection. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami says, you must be introspective. Who am I? What am I doing for Krishna? Therefore, though we see things are not right, we should not even bother about it. Krishna knows what's going on.
Then we remain alone.
Better to be alone. First of all, you're never alone. We are never alone.
I am Prabhupada.
So how can you be alone? How can you be alone? Is it true? If you are with Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is Bhaktisiddhanta, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati is with Gaura Das Babaji and all the other acharyas, what is the question of loneliness?
Other people also.
Mahaprabhu is there. And if you are actually with Srila Prabhupada, you are in the spiritual world.
Yeah.
You never feel alone.
Yeah.
Prabhupada said, I'm never alone.
No, neophyte.
Neophyte are neophyte. Even in the crowds, they are alone. Even in the crowds, they are alone. If you have no knowledge, even in the crowds, you are alone. Because crowds are useless. A crowd of ignorant people, how can it help you? Yes. So what is the question of being alone? If you are with Krishna, if you are following Prabhupada,
No.
That's the because
I want to search ideal persons.
search. You become ideal person.
That's me.
Then
That-
people will search you.
That means this is.
Yes or not?
That means I
You
don't
forget-
see anyone.
First of all, if you know what is the
I
ideal, what is the
recognize-
ideal?
I recognize that.
Can you
person-
recognize what is ideal?
No.
Can you recognize what is ideal? Think about it.
I read something.
See,
but
it takes one to know one. A Mahabhagavata knows.
logically I am.
If I am a Mahabhagavata, I know who is a Mahabhagavata.
Yes,
But if I am not a Mahabhagavata,
yes,
I cannot understand who is a Mahabhagavata.
yes.
So then, you
Yes.
first become a Mahabhagavata, and then you know.
How can it be possible? Like a surgeon told me that our line in surgeon practice, we have seen this is become surgeon, this is become that, this is become that. Their student practice, they become like that. But there is examples very short.
Exams are short.
Like who is we follow only purpose.
Naturally, because diamonds are very few.
There is only
Diamonds
one
are very few. Prabhupada clearly explained. Don't expect diamonds. Diamonds are very few. People like Prabhupada are 1 in a billion. Not even 1 in a billion. One in a. It's very difficult to find. It's not possible to have every day everybody should be like Prabhupada.
How can you be united?
You united by simply surrendering to Prabhupada, then you are united. If you are surrendering to Prabhupada, then you are united. Though we may have different opinion, we may have different way of doing things, that is also accepted. It's not that everybody should be like clones, you know what a clone is, everybody should be equal. No, there is, Krishna consciousness means varieties. And Srila Prabhupada said that we have somehow or other, we have to accommodate each other's nature. And if you cannot somehow accept, then you go somewhere else. That's how Prabhupada did. How he expanded. Devotees couldn't stay together. Prabhupada said, okay, you go to America, you go to England, you go to France. Because they were all full of energy. So they could not accept maybe to be submissive to somebody else. So Srila Prabhupada, he utilized that energy. Okay, you go to England. You be a leader. You be a leader. That's also unity. That is also part of unity. Not that everybody should be the same. So if you have difficulty in living with devotees, some devotees, you go somewhere else and start. Go to a village. Go to a city, go somewhere, wherever, and start yourself and be a leader. But Prabhupada is the center. Yes. That you cannot change. You cannot say, I am Prabhupada now. You understand? That loyalty to Srila Prabhupada must remain the core in the core of your heart. In the core. Then you get the blessings. Otherwise, you may be able to make some money. Yeah? You have a nice little temple with a nice deities, and your rice and dal business is over. Is that what we want? Is that what we plan? Do we need to take care of our rice and dal? Like Prabhupada said, don't come to Vrindavan to solve your chapati business. Is that? Huh?
Well, you do not ask like what is the price of dancing, said what is the
So our business is not that, Our business to try to please Srila Prabhupada by advancing is this Krishna consciousness movement. Jale dekho tahe ko Krishna. And not everybody is a great acharya, not everybody is a great leader, not everybody is a great book distributor, not everybody is a great temple president. Somebody may be just an ordinary man.
Sometimes people management also.
Management is the same. Prabhupada gave us how to manage.
How to manage it, fix each other.
Yes. That requires intelligence, no?
Where is person, intelligent person,
You are.
and other persons?
So if you don't find intelligent people, manage what you can. Don't expect much from this world. Prabhupada used to say, I'm washing coal. You know what washing coal means? Have you ever tried to wash coal? Does it ever become clean? You know what a coal is, no? What is coal?
Coal. That black brick.
Yeah, the coal that you burn.
Mhm.
Koila. Koila.
Koila. Yes, yes.
Can you wash koila?
No.
So that's the material. We are so polluted by material association that no matter how much you wash, more and more dirt is coming out. That is our material condition. So it is very.
But we are not, we are like every day we listen Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavatam.
We are listening, but how we are listening? With what? With the ear or with the heart?
No, somebody like people teaching also, they start like engage.
No,
people
that's all right.
wearing,
That's all right.
chanting.
That's okay. That's okay. That's why it is Krishna consciousness is a gradual process. As long as we are willing to take the medicine and the diet, then we can become, no matter how strong the disease is, no matter how strong the disease is, if you take the diet and the medicine from a proper physician, gradually you become cured.
That is fact like.
That is a fact.
No.
So what is the diet and the medicine that Prabhupada gave us? The diet is Krishna Prasadam and the medicine is the Harinam. So yeah, as long as we chant the holy name and avoid the offenses and we take Krishna Prasadam, we don't give way to the tongue by eating in hotels, eating boga, eating all this nonsense food. Then gradually you become pure.
Such kind of people increase day by day. It happened by mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes.
Krishna conscious person is spread day
Yes.
by day. But quality, I don't know. Quantity
Don't
is.
worry about it, you worry about your quality.
Yes.
Jai.
No?
Yes.
You worry about your quality. Why you worry about others' quality?
By spread, this is.
By your quality, you check your quality, because the more you become, the more your quality is greater, then the more you can be of service to Prabhupada. By your purity, you will be able to attract others. What attracted us to Prabhupada is purity. His personal dealings, more than the philosophy. Achar and prachar, we always hear this too.
Judgment also.
We are, how do we judge? We are fools.
No.
Achar,
Stop, please.
achar,
It's not finished.
achar and prachar. Achar and prachar. There is the philosophy and the practical application of the philosophy by your own personal example.
Behavior.
Behavior. Achar means behavior. If your prachar is good, but your behavior is bad, then people will not stick around you. They don't like you. But you may not be a very good preacher, but your behavior is very nice. People will respect you. They will feel, oh, this person is...
This is happened in his court.
I don't know, I'm not in this country. Is it happening to you? Forget this. Why you keep bringing in ISKCON and others? Don't do that. That's not good. We are discussing philosophy here. We are not discussing ISKCON. Yes or no?
Yes.
We are discussing us. What they are doing is their business. What you do is your business.
Jai.
I only want to learn like that how to Jnana or Vijnana.
Jnana Vijnana.
Philosophy and application.
Practical application of knowledge is Vijnana.
Yes.
Practical realization. And that you can feel it as you carry on in your spiritual life. After years of chanting the holy name, then you actually begin to feel what Krishna consciousness is. By actual realization. That means it is revealed to you in the form of, by your activities, by the way you're dealing with others, by the way you're dealing with yourself, in public and in private. In public and in private. If in public you are something and in private you are something else, that means that's a cheating process. That's a cheating process. So what you're inside and what you're outside should be the same.
We are only just chanting and hearing.
Yes. No? Does that make sense or not?
Let's go. There's a question.
I think it's all about just we don't need to think about them personally.
No, you don't have to think about anybody.
Yes,
Why should you think about anybody?
Just bother about our own.
You bother about your Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, this thing. Actually, I waste Prabhu. I just like to share that I wasted so much time.
You're not wasting anything. Because of that experience, you've come to this stage. Yes.
So like, can you share like how you came to India? So like from Goa to Mayapur, I heard that you said only by walking. So there's many devotees, new devotees are there. So like how you came in touch with Prabhupada. So it will be very inspiration to some devotees here. Already we here, Balam Prabhu I have here, and this boy also here, and myself also here. But few other not have here. So at least 2-3 minutes you can say.
We all have different ways, no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Somehow or other Krishna brings us. So,
Like there one quote is there.
Prabhuji, stop.
let
I'm
him
stopping.
let him.
No, completely, he's always interrupted.
He's it's okay.
Prabhuji, he's telling us his life, how he come.
I forget the
Yeah, good.
Well, actually, when I was a young boy, my mother died. I was a young boy. I was 1 year old. So I was put in orphanage. And orphanage, it means with priests and nuns. So I had a direct experience of how they behave and the difference between achar and prachar, the behavior of the priests and the nuns and the gospel of Jesus, because Jesus is such a wonderful person and the philosophy he preaches is so wonderful. But when it comes down to practical application, there is a very, in Italy we say, between saying and doing, there is the ocean in between.
Yes.
Between saying and doing, the ocean is in between. So between actually accepting the teachings of the Lord and actually practicing those teachings, that's a completely different matter. So by the time I was about 12, 13, I had great admiration for Lord Jesus and the philosophy, but I always thought, I wish I could meet someone like Jesus. I had that desire to meet someone on that level. A pure devotee. That Jesus means a pure devotee. But by the time I was 15, I rejected. I left home, became a hippie, living on the streets, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. There was nothing else. Either you follow the 9 to 5, job, get a job or get a business, which I never liked. So by the time I was 15, I gave up, became a hippie, traveling, hitchhiking through Europe. And somehow or other, at that time, there was many people came from India. So there were different books we were all interested, especially taking LSD and all that. Somehow or other, it just opened up some reality different, that there's something more, okay? Though it was very dangerous, but it opened up some little opening that hey, this is not what it should be. There must be something more. That was at least what most of us, many of us at that time understood, that there's something more. In fact, many of my friends, they became disciples of Prabhupada. People I used to work with, I used to smoke dope and all that, and taking LSD, they became, many of them, at least 5 or 6 I know. So then, by the time I was 18, 19, at age 19 I thought, I have to get out of here. I have to go back, I have to go to India. So a friend of mine had just come back from India, and he was explaining to me about India. But we didn't know anything, you see, for us it was all dreaming, all right? And though I heard about the Hare Krishnas, but those years, the Hare Krishna were like mixing with everything else. There was no very clearly defined. There was so much going on. But somehow or other, because the desire to come to India. So I came to India, and for about 1 year I was all alone, young boy, no money. And then I landed in Goa. And Goa it was another madness. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, same place. I said, I came to India for what? What I came here for, and it's the same thing. I said, is this what India is? So after about 5-6 months I was there, then I thought, let me go and see what India is. So one morning I just got up, I had no shoes on, whatever I was wearing, that's all I had, and I started walking. I got to the highway, and then I came to Hampi. You know Hampi, no? I came to Hampi, I stayed in Hampi for about 1 week or 10 days on the bank of the Tungabhadra. There was a place right on the bank, all rocks, they're all rocks there. So there was a Chilam Baba. Chilam Baba, he used to make chilams, and we used to smoke bambule. But then again, what am I doing? So I said, let me go. And in the process, I was thinking to myself, I'm so far away from home, what I thought was home. I have no money. Where am I going? Why this happens to me? These questions, why am I in this situation? Why I have no money? So you start blaming, you see the mind always blames somebody else. So the first step in spiritual life is to acceptance. This is very important. It is acceptance that you are the cause of your own miseries. As long as you think that God is the cause, or your family is the cause, or something else is the cause, then there cannot be progress. We must accept that we are the masters of our own life. That our happiness and distress is caused not by anybody else, but ourselves. This is extremely important. This is fundamental. So then one day I was having these thoughts in my mind, which were all like waves, anger, all these emotions, why I'm suffering. Then when I came to my conclusion that God is not the cause of my suffering, it's me. I became very peaceful there. I became very peaceful. So one night I landed in Secunderabad. There was a temple of Hanuman. So I stayed in the courtyard of that temple. And in the morning I was feeling hungry. Secunderabad. So there was a young boy who had a bicycle and milk bottles. So I asked him, I said, can you give me one bottle? I'm very hungry. He says, I cannot give it to you, but if you go to the Hare Krishnas, if you go to the Hare Krishnas, they will take care of you. All right. So that time, I don't know if you, from Nampali Station Road,
I have been there.
the temple was just in construction. So I got there it was about maybe Guru Puja time, the meeting of the deities. So I went there and I entered the temple, and there was a French Canadian, Prabhu, nice devotee, nice, very nice boy, nice devotee. So he immediately he took me aside and he said, he gave me a broom. First thing he did, he gave me a broom and he said, you sweep the office. So I swept the office, I did some clean. Then he said, then he gave me prasadam. And then he gave me the japa mala. He said, you chant. That's how quick it was, all right? He gave me the japa mala. He said, you chant. He showed me how to chant. Then I went to the first floor of the temple and I chanted 3 rounds and I fell asleep. I woke up, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I came down, and at that time, next to the temple, there were some cottages. Now they built up, but at that time, they were all small cottages. So one guy from the cottage called me, hey, come here. So he asked me a few questions, and he said, are you Hare Krishna? I said, no. Say, do you smoke? I said, yeah. So he gave me a cigarette, and I smoked with him. I didn't know. So then again I went back to the temple, and the devotee, that French Canadian devotee, told me, you cannot stay here. I said, why? He said, well, you smoked. I said, nobody told me. So there was another devotee who actually pushed me out. He said, you have to leave. I said, okay. But this French Canadian devotee was very sweet, very nice. So you keep chanting, and Krishna will take care. So I went. And I came all the way up to Bhubaneswar. Then, without knowing, I got to Puri. I walked all the way to Puri. And I tried to enter the temple, Jagannath temple.
Prabhu, from Bhubaneswar railway station.
Huh?
From Bhubaneswar you walked to Puri?
I walked, no, from all the way.
Wow.
All the way.
Do you carry anything, Prabhu?
Nothing. No, nothing. Only my bed karma.
Like even a water bottle or some dhoti or dress?
Nothing. What I had on.
Okay.
Anyway, I got to Puri and they threw me out, they didn't allow me, so I was very upset. I said, why I cannot enter the temple? Anyway, I slept on the beach, and the next morning I took off. Then slowly I got to Bengal. Then one night I landed in Calcutta. I slept at the Maidan, the big Maidan, remember that? Open space. And he said, I slept there. In the morning I saw one small beady shop, small cigarette shop. They're all very small. So I asked him, where can I find some foreigner? He says, go to the Hare Krishna. Why? I mean, in retrospective, the same, there are 10 million people. In Hyderabad, there are also so many people. The first person I meet, he sends me to the Hare Krishna. Same thing happening in Calcutta. He told me, go to the Hare Krishna. Jagu. Prabhu. No, I'm having a meeting with some devotees. Can I call you back? Okay, I'll text you, alright? Sorry, Hare Krishna. So, in retrospective, I didn't make this arrangement. I didn't make it. So I went to the temple and I was very dirty, sweaty, it was May, so hot. So I asked if I can take a bath. So at that time, there was, in the bathroom, there was only an old butt tub, and there was this much water. And I didn't know that was the water for all the devotees.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know. So I went inside and I scrubbed myself and I let the water go. And they got so angry at me. That was the old water for all the devotees. There were few devotees, but there was not much, the facilities in Calcutta, they were very difficult. It was an old building, so water problem, so they got so mad at me. But anyway, what can I say? There was a French devotee, a very sweet boy. His name is Tirtharaj. Very nice. He's French. So he called me, But I actually wanted to go back to the West. I wanted to go back to Italy. So I wanted to go to look for the Italian embassy, Italian consulate. So I went around Calcutta trying to find the consulate. Couldn't find it. By evening I was exhausted. So I said either I join them or I don't know what to do. Really, that was my plight. I was, what Krishna says in Gita, Arto Artarti Jigyasu. What is that shloka? Jnanicha Bharatarsava. How does it start? Chaturvida Bhajanti Jnana Sukrita Arjuna. Arto Artat. So I was Arto and Artati. I was in distress and I was in need of prasadam. I was not a wise man nor very inquisitive. So then I came back to the temple and they accepted me and said, you stay here. The next morning I shaved up. They gave me some dhotis. That's how it started.
Yeah.
That's how it started. So you never know. You don't know, but Krishna knows. Krishna knows. He guides you. Krishna, Sarvasya Chaham Riddhi Same Vishnu Matta Smriti Jnanam Makonam. Krishna is in our heart. He directs the wandering of all living entities. Why I chose Calcutta? I don't know. So Krishna is in our heart and he sees that, what is our innermost desire? What is our innermost desire? He knows better than us. So we cannot cheat Krishna. Though we may have weaknesses, though we may have anarthas, but if the innermost desire is to serve him, he will make sure that all those anarthas will be destroyed. But if our innermost desire is to cheat, then outwardly we make a show of devotion. Hey Prabhu, Hari Bhakti Chorera Lakha. Beware of all those who are very, Hari Bol. Ati Bhakti Chorera, those who show too much devotion is a sign of a thief. Ati Bhakti Chorera Laksha. So the innermost desire should be, we must be very careful in our spiritual life. What is our innermost desire? What do we want? Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Nama is Chintamani. He gives you what you want. Some people want money, some people want beautiful women, some people want adoration, profit, distinction. Whatever you want, by chanting you can get all those things very easily. But that's all you get. And because those things by nature are temporary, you will lose them in due course of time. So again you're back to square one. What is your actual profit? What is our profit? If we were after all these mundane things, in the name of chanting, in the name of Krishna consciousness, we'll get all these things. We become a great Mahant, big temple president, big GBC, big guru. You know that story of there was a guru. He had 5 disciples. And he was walking on the bank of the Jamuna, and in Allahabad, they were going to the Triveni. So on the way they saw this python, snake, big snake, and he was covered by all these small insects, and they were biting him, and he was in pain. So as he walked, the guru laughed. So the 5 disciples had a commotion. Why is he laughing at the suffering of the guru, of the snake? He always showed us that we have to be compassionate. And they always said, why are you talking like that? So he must have his own reason. So they were going back and forth. So the guru looked at it and said, I'm not laughing, stupid fool fellows. I'm not laughing at him, I'm laughing at myself. He says, that python in the past life, he was a big guru. And all those insects, they were all his disciples. Wow. They were all his disciples. He was only taking from them. He wasn't giving them anything. So because he was cheating them, now they're taking him back, they're making him suffer because they were cheated by him. And so they're cheaters and they're cheated. He says, I'm laughing at myself because at least if I become a snake, I will be able to move. I only have 5 disciples. Five disciples that cannot cause too much pain. This is the point. We cannot cheat Krishna. Whatever. If we cheat, if we engage in Krishna consciousness, if we utilize the facilities that Krishna, the spiritual master, offers us for the service of the Lord, for our sense of gratification, we must pay every penny back. With interest. We cannot cheat Krishna. This Krishna consciousness movement is very important because it's the only way out of our samsara. Though a Vaishnava is not interested in going back home, back to Godhead, or it doesn't matter. Actually, if you develop Krishna consciousness, you're already back home, back to Godhead. It doesn't matter. Just like they asked Prabhupada about Arjuna, and Prabhupada said that Kunti and Arjuna, they're never in the spirit, they're not in Goloka, they're not in Vaikuntha. They're eternally associated with Krishna in the material world. In the material world. But they're always with Krishna. So what is the difference? Now there is so many things that these Raganugas, they all want to be gopis and all that. Vaishnavas they don't have such ambition. We have no, our ambition is only to serve Guru and Krishna and the Vaishnavas. Doesn't matter how, where, when, all the time. Vaishnavas don't cultivate that desire. It's Krishna's, it's ultimately Krishna's gift. Just like, the gopis are there, the gopas are there, but then they are not the only devotees, is it? The trees, the flowers, the fruits. So, how does it matter what we become? Does it really matter? So, you want to be a gopi or what?
After then,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, for example, if I have a Shiksha Guru,
Yes.
and if Shiksha Guru, maybe he would be a very, very nicely practicing devotee. He may be doing 16 rounds, everything, etc. In one sense, of course, he is also following Prabhupada, but sometimes if he has fallen down, okay, does it affect the devotee who is getting trained by him?
Naturally. Naturally.
Oh, is it? Shiksha Guru Prabhu, I mean, just guiding and just.
Siksha Guru means one who follows. Siksha Guru he cannot impart instructions that are different from the Diksha Guru. The Siksha Guru must be in tune with the Diksha Guru. So if I am fallen, then I should be able to tell you that I'm fallen. How can I instruct you if I am fallen?
That's correct.
I cannot give you instruction that I'm not following.
What will happen if, maybe due to course of time, he falls down. Any reaction will happen to the follower, or he just can reject the Shiksha Guru and just follow the Diksha Guru. For example, it has been this one.
You only have one Diksha Guru, or you can have unlimited Diksha Guru. So if somebody is fallen, you respect him and you take instruction from someone who is not fallen.
That's not a problem. And next thing is about misunderstanding. Because I do have one devotee. He is very nice devotee actually, and he gave some training for me. But after that, we had he said that you don't come to me, you don't speak to me. So like that, there is something is going on. So how to deal with such things, bro? Because
He
he
doesn't
is
want-
same devotee.
If somebody doesn't want you to talk to him, talk to somebody else.
Common sense, Prabhupada says. Don't lose your common sense.
So what does it say?
It's not your husband, is it?
Use common sense. If you don't have kind
If somebody doesn't like you, why bother him?
Okay.
Why bother?
I don't need to offend them or even think about
No,
say bad about
if
them.
somebody don't like me, I avoid him because he doesn't like me. Why should I try to associate somebody who doesn't want me? The world is big. It can accommodate everybody. No?
Yes, correct.
You can try to find out why he doesn't like you. That's honest. You can ask, oh, what have I done something wrong? And I don't know, he may give you a good reason. And then you become introspective also. That it may be right, he may be right in, see, you may have some fault that he sees, and if you can ask him, that is humility. You can ask, Prabhu, I see that you don't like me, for my own sake, for my own purification, why you don't like me, and he can tell you. And if he tells you something that you actually see in yourself, then you try to improve. Yes, Prabhu.
Can I ask you, if you don't mind sharing with us, what are some of the most potent realizations that you've had that have strengthened your relationship with Prabhupada?
Well, the most important realization was to see and to experience His protection and help after I lost everything in ISKCON. Because I had everything for me. I was a temple president, I was a senior devotee, everybody liked my kirtans, you know.
And we still do.
Everybody liked me, you know, Calcutta, everybody liked us, Adridara and myself, we were known all over the world, you know, but I remember telling Adri, are you attached to that seat? I said, if you're attached to that seat, better we don't speak. Because if we speak, naturally we may lose everything. So, you know, they asked us, why are you become a guru? I could have become a guru. I mean, I can make 100 disciples at least by now, 1,000 rupees each a month. I'm lucky. I get a lakh a month. Easy life, no? Good bank account, all these young girls and boys coming to you, Maharaj, Haribol, Prabhu, you know. Easy, no? Easy life. We had everything, we had a nice life. But I knew that was not my interest. We joined for Prabhupada. And not only, we joined, maybe I didn't join for Prabhupada, I joined because I was forced by circumstance, by Krishna's grace, still is Krishna's grace. But then we realized, you know, what we actually have. What is the purpose? Are we here for profit, adoration, and distinction, or are we here for the truth? And if we are here for the truth, are we ready to sacrifice for that truth? Are we ready to sacrifice our own comforts and position and recognition and affections from our peers to uphold that truth? That is the test, is it? And we did, you know. They put me in jail. I fought a court case for 20 years.
Wow.
20 years for it, not one day. 20 years I went to court. 20 years. And I saw that, you know, after 26 years I've been in ISKCON, all of a sudden I'm on the street. I have nobody. That's when that reality, we're talking about realization and appreciation and conviction. That's when you conviction. That's when you strengthen your conviction, as when you are in those situations. And Krishna put me in that because I did not betray Prabhupada in that way. So that would strengthen my realization and love and affection for Srila Prabhupada. Though I have so many anarthas, I cannot enumerate them, and I don't think you want to bother to know about it. But we all have anarthas. There is room for weaknesses in Krishna consciousness. There is no room for deceit. Krishna does not like deceitful people. But Krishna can accept, and even a man who has so many anarthas, weaknesses, there's room. Krishna strengthens them gradually. He has his ways to do it. So, but as long as we are ready to accept, then, you know, there is room for progress. But there is no room for progress for a deceitful man. He gets what he wants, the crumbs. These are all crumbs. The adoration of fools. What is the use? We want to be accepted by the acharyas, not by neophytes. What is the value of that? 1,000,000 neophytes that praise you doesn't make you what you think you are. But if one acharya accepts you, one only, your life is done.
Jai Prabhupada.
You understand? So you must be ready to forfeit any of your own personal desire or sense gratification for Srila Prabhupada, for his mission. Then if Krishna recognizes you, if Prabhupada recognizes you, you're peaceful. You're cool in the midst of fire.
One quote is there about preaching. Prabhupada was telling that don't mistake that this is not Kirtan and that is also Kirtan. No. When you go preach, talk, put your arguments, logics to opposing elements, and you are sometimes forced backward. Sometimes you are defeated, sometimes in arguments it happens. So that is Vaishnav, that is. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has commented that a devotee when he goes to preach and he is attacked by the opposing elements, that is also culture of bhakti, devotional service. Not that when you go to preach, don't think that I am wasting my time. Better to sit down in a palace and chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. These are all nonsense. You have to preach, face the opposing elements, that is better than chanting Hare Krishna. So most difficulty is there in this matter. When we preach local area like Alwar, then Vrindavan devotees also come, ISKCON devotees. Delhi ISKCON devotees also, and Jaipur ISKCON devotees also. I avoid the whole problematic matters. I don't consider. But still, this group point is standing every time.
Well, Prabhupada gave you.
Very difficult point.
Difficulty is there, but unless difficulties are there, we cannot make a progress. Difficulties are there for us to make progress. Unless there is difficulty, how you feel the protection of the Lord? Kunti Maharani, what did she say? Why you are giving us? We won the war. Now we have everything, but you are leaving us. But you take everything back, put us in difficulties, because by being in difficulties, you are close to us.
It's like do not argument any group.
No, don't argue. You see, suppose you have a good product, right? And you know it's a good product. You're selling a good product. And in the market, so many other products of the same kind may come, right? Now you have a product that you know is certified, you know is good. Why you care about others? If others say, oh, his product is not good, and if people don't buy your product, whose loss is that? Whose loss is that? If you have a diamond and people are selling glass, cheap glass, but you are having a diamond, so if somebody buys that diamond, that's all you care. Cheap glass, anybody can buy. The diamond, only very few people can buy. So Krishna consciousness, what Krishna says that out of Manushanam Sashashu Kaschid Yatatam Apisiddhanam Kaschimam Vidita. Out of thousands and millions among men, few are endeavoring for perfection. And out of those who have achieved perfection, that means they're already perfect, but hardly one knows mean truth. That is the diamond. So you hit for the diamond. And all those, they can buy glass. And if they have diamonds, good for them. I'm not saying they don't have diamonds. They can sell diamonds also. But a person who wants to buy a diamond is not a fool that he doesn't, first of all, educate himself about the nature of the diamond. Because after all, you're paying for a diamond, you're paying crores of rupees sometimes. So you don't want to waste your money. So you do your research properly, no?
Absolutely.
But if you go to the bazaar, you can throw 5 rupees and get a piece of cloth. It looks like a diamond. Oh, nice. But no value. So we are not, we have to, just like Madhupad did, Prabhu. He didn't fight. He doesn't want to fight. He's simply defending himself. But what he has done, by his team, he created the GBC. They're building temples all over India and also the open temple all over in America also.
But not satisfied.
Huh?
Other people also not satisfied.
Who cares? Then do something better. Do something better. Many people are Ritvik, you know why? They don't want to take instruction from anybody. They want to mind their own business. That's not our Krishna consciousness. Our desire is not just we want to work within a system that Prabhupada gave us. We don't want to be aloof from anybody. We want to accept instruction. We want to accept authority. We must accept authority. But the authority must be in accordance to the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. That's all. Prabhupada gave guidelines, gave laws, he gave the directions. What is the GBC? What is their business? GBC cannot come to your temple and tell you what to do. What is the business of the GBC? To preserve and spread Prabhupada's teaching. To come to the temple, give his own personal example of how to be a devotee, and make sure that the temple is not misusing or abusing power and collection, the accounts, the temple programs, the deity standards must be maintained and upheld. That is the business of the GBC. And give his personal guidance by his own practical living example. Not to come and tell you what to do. We give that power to the temple president. Prabhupada called the GBC watchdogs. What is the meaning of a watchdog? That if some jackass comes, try to steal your property, he'll bark. He'll bark, so that the owner is aware of something is there. So they are like that, they're watchdogs to see, to make sure that everything is right, that nobody is trying to steal, nobody is trying